tonight. We're here with head coach David Riley following today's game against Gonzaga. Coach, we'll let you give sort of your general thoughts on the game and then open it for questions.
Yeah, it was a disappointing game, and another one where there's a 7-8 minute spurt. This time it happened in the first half where we let it get away from us, and getting a 20-point deficit on Gonzaga is a tough cold to climb out of. And I felt like we had some guys that showed some fight in the second half, and it's kind of story the last month or so. We've had 3 or 4 guys show that fight, 3 or 4 guys execute, and 3 or 4 guys not, and we just got to find that balance. And it's just we need a little bit more consistency to win these games.
What does it take to find that balance and that consistency?
It's a good question. I think it takes communication from our players. It takes us staying in the moment. It takes better play calling and rotations from me. And I think we all need to take a step up and figure out how to get these little moments out of our system.
It felt like those first few minutes. I think it was 8-2, 8-3 after the first 3.5 minutes, and crowd was into it. It seemed like the team was feeding off the energy, and it just seemed to kind of wane off from there. Was there something you noticed that maybe shifted, or was it just start getting jittery mistakes, etc.?
I think we did a good job early on and hit some shots and did a great job defensively to start off the game. But the ball was a little bit slow moving side to side, and we didn't get rhythm those first 4 minutes. We had some good shots that we made, but that kind of set us back going into the second part of that first half. And I think we just got to do a better job getting the ball zipping around. We put Nate in some tough spots. With 4 or 5 seconds left, it seemed like he shot 5 or 6 shots down the end of the clock in the first half, and we should be running those ball screens at 10 or 11, not 3 or 4.
Has there been a thought to maybe shift the starting 5 a little bit, if for nothing else, to see if it gives a different jolt?
Talked about it. I think for us, like when you look at those guys, they've produced at a very high level, and we've won with them, and I think there's just little tweaks we got to make. I mean, you could flip it around and just look at our bench production and say it hasn't been good enough the last 7-8 games as well. So I think it's there is something to do with finding the right combination of players, but also we just got to get all those guys playing more consistent to know what we're going to get every night.
You mentioned Nate, just the 5 points tonight, 2 of 13 from the floor. I mean, how much of it was kind of like you said, putting him in a tough spot versus him just having a hard time in general?
Well, like with Nate's role in our offense, he's kind of the guy that gets a lot of the first action, so he'll come off a lot of drag ball screens and he'll push the pace and he'll score a lot in those. And we weren't able to do that tonight. Number one, we weren't getting enough stops in the first half. Number two, every dead ball they were running that press, and it kind of slowed us down, and we weren't able to punish it like we usually do with presses. So that slowed down his first actions, and then I already talked about the second actions where everyone was moving the ball too slow on the perimeter, and it was getting back to him with I don't know 3 or 4 seconds left, and that's not enough time to come off a ball screen and make a good read. And so really, like we whatever you want to call it, put him in tough spots.
Yeah, what was kind of the issue with some of the longer offensive possessions where you get down to 5+ seconds on the shot clock? Like, is it you guys just kind of not executing, or kind of what's Gonzaga doing too in that spot?
Their ball pressure messed with us. They made the post passes tough. Like usually, if we're getting pressured on the perimeter, we can drop it in the post and release some pressure. And they kind of, I need to watch the film and see how much they took it away and how much we just didn't execute.
I think the last time you guys played them, you guys shot 53% from the field, and after that, they gave up 97 to Oregon State, 100 to Santa Clara. But I know that they feel like they've made a lot of defensive strides the last 7-8 games. Where would you say that they're different defensively, and would you kind of agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, they've improved. I mean, they've got a great coaching staff. Mark Few's a great coach. They've definitely taken steps. From my perspective, you can see it in the ball pressure and the way they're competing on the ball. I thought that bothered us more this game than it did last game at their place. So I think that's something that's noticeable, but like their numbers show it. They are playing better defense.
Dave, heading into Saturday now, obviously it's going to be an emotional day for you with kids you've known for a very long time, getting senior day. One more. I guess just with Santa Clara coming here, they were the last team that really got you guys on the road. What's kind of the mindset that has to shift heading into Saturday?
Looking back at that Santa Clara game, we didn't guard them. They were really comfortable, and they got going in the second half. Hit a bunch of threes. We got to guard. Like we got to get our defensive mindset back and let that lead to our offense. And I think that's when you look at our numbers the last month or two, that side of the ball has dwindled, and we got to attack that a little bit better. And I think that's something that is going to be a great challenge for us on Saturday.
And was that kind of what you saw tonight with Hickman, where it was just maybe a missed assignment or two, or someone loses him?
Yeah. Again, I need to go watch the film. I felt like we missed a couple of assignments early in the first half, and I walked in here right when Zay was saying it, like you give a shooter like that rhythm, and he hit some tougher ones in the second half.
So having a tough stretch to this sort of last, I guess, sort of 7-8 games in the WCC, and only having that one win over Pepperdine, how do you sort of keep this up and try right that ship in these last few games? You have a few tough ones left in the regular season.
You know, it's a long season. There's going to be ups and downs, and we got to stay steady with what we know works. Like, we've got a blueprint for these guys. These guys have all made it this far to understand what success looks like, and so we just got to attack every day. We got to have good practices. We got to take care of our bodies. We got to come in and have a good film session and make sure we make the proper adjustments. And then, really, like, we just need to fight. Like, we need to have 40 minutes of fight, and that's what's kind of let us down. We've had 30, 32, 34 minutes, and we got to build on that. And I think these guys are hungry, they're capable, and they understand what we can do.
And that same kind of mentality rolling in with the Santa Clara game, a team that really had y'all's number in the last game. Sort of talk more about that with Santa Clara.
Yeah, you know, like they have, I don't know where I haven't looked at any of the draft boards or anything like that, but those three wings are pretty damn good. And we got to make them uncomfortable. It's got to be a defensive mindset. They have to feel us from the jump, or they're going to get in rhythm like they did last time. And I think, like, when you go back and look at it, we've had spurts where we did it. Like tonight, we had spurts where we did it. You go back early in the preseason with Boise and Nevada, where we were pressuring the ball and getting more steals. And I think that's something we got to get back to, just get that edge back.
Coach, after talking to you earlier in the week, and you talked about the crowd and the moment of the home of the Cougs and stuff, and it seemed to really kind of bring a smile to your face before the game. I kind of two-part question, I guess. One, how rewarding is it to see the fans come out? But two, what's the downside of not being able to perform in front of a crowd like that?
Yeah, you know, walking out here and just seeing all the build-up to the game the last couple of days, I'm grateful to be a part of this. It's something that's been built throughout a long time. There's a lot of tradition here at Washington State, and so number one, I'm grateful for it, and it's really awesome to see the passion of the crowd and Beasley. And it's just disappointing for us to come in and kind of let these guys down and not be able to go compete and win this game. And I think that's something that we need to keep growing from. And I know these fans will stick with us, and we just got to keep getting better, and eventually we're going to come out and win these games.
Yeah, Coach, kind of jumping off that question, do you think it maybe adds to the pressure a little bit to see all the fans in the stadium, or do you guys enjoy playing for all those, like, 10,000 people?
I mean, it's what it's all about. We love it. Like, I thought our guys came out the right way, great energy, and, you know, there's difficult parts about playing in front of a home crowd like that. I think our guys look dead tired a minute and a half into the game. We stopped posting up. We stopped doing a few things, and I think there was some adrenaline that wore off. And we gotta learn from that and adjust. But man, it was awesome. I thought our guys fed off it.
Yeah, and what's the message going into Santa Clara, just to the guys, to get them to keep fighting after another loss? It's
disappointing. Like, we pour our lives into this. We work very hard. Our guys are in the gym getting extra workouts all the time, and this is something that we're gonna keep attacking. Like, this is what we do. This is who we are. The sun's gonna come up tomorrow. There might be some snow, who knows? But we're going to have a great day. We're going to practice. We're going to get better. And we're going to go be ready on Saturday.
Well, kind of off of that, when you look at the emotional side of losing, those conversations that kind of you have not only with your players but with your coaching staff, just how to handle this tough stretch.
Absolutely. You know, this is something that we've talked about as coaches, is making sure we're bringing the right energy and you know, this game, like, it's never as bad as it seems. It's never as good as it seems. And so we got to make sure these kids are staying steady and not getting too emotional and too down in these losses that we've had, and I don't think they are. I think we got good leadership, and we just got to keep attacking the day.
When you look at the way you started the game, especially LeJuan Watts, and how he started the game, what does that say about his play and his contribution, just kind of the season that he's had?
You know, I love LeJuan and just proud of him for what he's accomplished throughout his 3 years playing for me. He's taken a lot of big steps, and you know, you guys are seeing flashes of it, and I've seen more flashes in practice, and we're just going to keep getting a better version of him because he works really hard.
Yeah, LeJuan, strong opening start for you guys. One, like, what did you like about that stretch? If things kind of fall apart after that, what kind of went wrong in the rest of the game?
I think we just got too worried on the actions. I think I just gotta get off the ball, and my turnovers really affect the game. Our plan was to attack Ike, and I think we were too wrapped on the ball screen attacking instead of having our offense attacking him. But yeah, we just fell short on that.
As it seemed like a lot of your offensive trips were just, kind of longer trips that, didn't really go anywhere a lot of times. What was kind of going wrong on offense? And is that more their defense? You guys kind of, not executing as well?
I feel like we just usually never play at that pace. We played at a pace. They slowed us down a lot. So we just got to go back to the drawing board, get to work.
For you guys, those first few minutes, obviously the crowd was into it. It had that kind of electric feel. Was that something you felt like maybe you were feeding off in those first few minutes, and then maybe kind of evened out a little bit just in terms of the emotions?
Most definitely. I think the crowd was great tonight. I would love to see the crowd like that every night. But yeah, they gave us some energy to start. We just got to keep the momentum rolling.
LeJuan, I guess for you, what did you make of kind of the first half? Seemed like you were the only one who was really able to get scoring. Was it something they were doing where they were leaving you open, or what did you kind of see there in the first half?
Yeah, like I said, just putting Graham Ike in the actions. Obviously, he's a little bit bigger and not as mobile as me, so I just tried to offensively go at him, but sometimes I fell short, and yeah.
I got to say, when Juan's aggressive, when he is playing with the fire that he plays with, he's one of our, I think he's one of the best players in WCC. So, he was aggressive in the first half, and he played smart, and that's why he was getting to it.
And then can you guys just talk a little bit about the bench? Obviously, Tomas in the second half had
big time
minutes, and then you guys cut it to 16 and just couldn't get it any closer than that. How much did those guys help you, and then just not able to get it any closer than that?
They helped a lot. Obviously, Tomas, Case Wynot really helped. Huge 10 minutes. Came in, got 3 offensive rebounds.
Andy
Okafor. All of our guys really played hard. When they came off the bench, they gave us a spark that we needed.
Yeah.
We just got to capitalize on it. That's it.
For LeJuan, been a tough stretch these last few games in the WCC. Only have a few left. Next up at hosting Santa Clara. At them didn't go your way. So how do you sort of get the ship righted as you have these last few games and try to close out a solid finish to the regular season?
I think the crowd was just motivating on that. We just got to push through. I think we can finish the rest of the season strong and go to the tournament strong. Hopefully we can start winning and scaring other teams so we can get into the tournament aggressive. But, yeah, we just got to pull through for Santa Clara. I think we can do that.
One, you start the game with a dunk that sends you tumbling into the row of media, and then a couple possessions later you're diving over the score table for a loose ball. Kind of what Jack was saying, it's been a really tough stretch for you guys. So where does it come from that you come out and you play that hard all game, but especially in that opening stretch?
I mean, I just would say my life. My life's been hard, so I think that just makes me play so hard. I'm an emotional player. When things are bad, I like to really get emotional if you see it on the bench. But, yeah, I would just say I like to play the game like I play my life, just really hard-nosed.
Isaiah, what's the mood in the locker room right now? How are you guys staying together?
I mean, we lost. There's nothing really else to it. It comes with the game of basketball. We have, 4 more games? So the mood we're not down at all. You know what I'm saying? We got practice. We have another day of practice, and then we got a game on Saturday. So we don't hang our head for nothing because it moves by too fast.
Guys, for either of you, you guys did a nice job of Ryan Nemhart in one of his quietest games of the year. It seemed like no one picked up a lot for him. What did you see out of those two?
Shoot. I mean, Nemhart, we were physical and aggressive with him, and then I lost sight of Nolan for a couple times, and then, he's one of them rhythm shooters. Once he sees one go in, I know because, I'm a rhythm shooter. Once he sees one go in, it's over for the night, and especially if it's early. So I'm going to take that one on the chin.
As you talk about, the emotions of it and just kind of moving on to the next game. Where does that kind of focus come from, and how do you kind of hold each other accountable to that?
Life. There's another day. You go to sleep tonight and you wake up tomorrow. It's nothing to dwell upon. It happened. So that's it.
And LeJuan, when obviously was just after such a strong start to the season, just kind of how do you keep your emotions in check and your expectations, and obviously your focus zeroed in forward?
I think just playing for your teammates. Obviously, we have Dane, Ethan, and Seth, our seniors. It's just a great reason to keep pushing for them. This is their last one around. Hopefully, we can pull something through in the tournament, and we can send them off dancing.
Question for either of you. Just seeing 10,000 people in Beasley for the first time since after the pandemic, what was that like, just walking in and seeing just how many fans were there out to support you guys?
I mean, it was obviously special, but we had a game to play. You have time to acknowledge it, but then once it's time to tip that ball up, it ain't. All of it is just white noise. I mean, they were big for us. They gave us energy, but we got to stay focused. So, sure.
Have you seen it? Has Gonzaga taken any strides since you've played them? Whatever it was, 4 or 5 weeks.
No, I just think they came with that energy today. I think we know what we need to do. We go back to the drawing board. Hopefully, we see them in the tournament.